Hello, friends. Planet Earth is an amazing place filled with many strange and interesting natural phenomena. Some of them can be easily explained by science, while some remain a mystery. So what can science actually explain? And what if the answer can be found in a completely different place? India is a very large country. Due to the high density of its terrain and its proximity to the ocean, its climatic conditions vary greatly. From the extremely cold regions of the Himalayas to the humid tropical regions of the south. The climate of Haryana, a state in northern India where the unexplained anomaly occurred, is generally characterized by hot summers with heavy rains and temperatures up to 50 degrees Celsius, and rather cold winters with temperatures of about 1 degree Celsius. Is there a connection to the recent incident that scared the whole city? One of the residents of Haryana posted a video on Facebook which shows an apocalyptic situation when a piece of land suddenly begins to rise from under the accumulated rainwater. It looks like something straight from a science fiction movie, where a huge unidentified animal is about to rise right in front of us. The person filming the video cries out in awe, "Look, the Earth is rising! I've never seen anything like this before." Like any unidentified and incomprehensible event, it surely scared people. Some were worried about the safety of others at the scene and advised against observing the incident from a close distance, considering it necessary to move away. None of the eyewitnesses could understand what was happening and how it would end. One theory suggested that this phenomenon could have been caused by heavy rains. When this video appeared on Facebook, it had millions of views within hours. The lack of knowledge about the case of this unforeseen topographic anomaly has confused millions of social media users. However, some of the commenters put forward their own theories of what could have happened. Some suggested that the Earth had risen due to tectonic activity. Others believe that methane could have caused it. This happened due to tectonic activity. It is very dangerous to stay here. There must be some kind of volcanic activity, one of the commenters stated. Another user replied, "It actually wasn't tectonic activity. It could have been the release of methane stuck in the ground." There hasn't been an official statement on what really happened. Note that bad weather has been raging in India this summer. Heavy downpours caused buildings to collapse in the city of Mumbai. Not so long ago, India had another unexplained natural phenomenon called blood rain. This terrible name is fully justified. It had been observed in the Indian state of Kerala for a month. Blood rains terrified all the local residents. A water tornado turned out to be the reason for this phenomenon. It sucked in the spores of red algae from the reservoirs. Mixed with rainwater, these spores were falling on people like blood rain. There are still a lot of mysteries in the world. In September 1938, an inexplicable natural phenomenon occurred on Yamal. It remains unexplained to this day. During the day, when it suddenly became as dark as at night. The geologists who witnessed the phenomenon described it as sudden darkness with simultaneous radio silence. Having launched several signal flares, they saw very dense clouds near the ground that did not allow sunlight to pass through them. This eclipse lasted no more than an hour. Another phenomenon was recorded in the UK. Black smog, or Great Smog, envelops London from time to time. It's known that it was recorded in 1873 and in the 1880s. Almost nothing was visible on the streets at the time, and people could only move around by holding onto the walls of the houses. In the days when the black smog enveloped the city, the mortality rate of its inhabitants increased significantly. This was attributed to the fact that it was extremely difficult to breathe in this fog, even wearing a thick gauze bandage. The last time the deadly Great Smog occurred in the British capital was in 1952. At that time, the number of victims reached about 12,000 people. The Great Smog had long-term health effects on Londoners, according to a 2016 study. Thus, the likelihood of developing asthma in children who experienced smog before the age of 1 year was almost 8 times higher than among the peers who were not exposed to the Great Smog, 23% versus 3%. The cause of the Great Smog was environmental pollution. In 1952, the adoption of environmental laws began. The City of London Act, 1954, and the Clean Air Acts of 1956 and 1968 were passed, which reduced air pollution. The top of the list of the most terrible natural phenomenon also includes fire whirls. Tornadoes themselves are known to be very dangerous, but if they are associated with fire, their danger increases dramatically. These phenomena occur in places of fire, where scattered foci are combined into a single large fire. The air above it heats up and its density decreases. Because of this, the fire rises up. The pressure of hot air sometimes reaches hurricane speed. There isn't a single person who's never heard thunder or seen lightning. However, we are going to talk about ball lightning, which is an electric current discharge. Ball lightning can take many forms. It most often looks like red or yellow fireballs. These fireballs refute the laws of physics by unexpectedly appearing in the cabin of a flying plane or inside a house. Light soars in the air for several seconds and then disappears without a trace. A sandstorm is an impressive but extremely dangerous natural phenomenon. Sandstorms demonstrate the power and strength of Mother Nature. Such storms occur in deserts. Once in a storm, you can die by suffocating on sand. A sandstorm occurs due to the strongest airflows. As much as 40 million tons of sand and dust are transported from the Sahara Desert to the Nile Basin each year. The natural phenomenon of a tsunami is triggered by an earthquake. Having formed in a particular place, a large wave moves at tremendous speed, sometimes reaching thousands of kilometers per hour. Once in shallow water, such a wave grows 10 to 15 meters high. Throwing itself ashore with great speed, the tsunami takes away thousands of human lives and brings a lot of destruction. A funnel-shaped airstream is called a tornado. Most often, tornadoes occur in the United States, both over water and over land. From the side, a tornado resembles a cone-shaped cloud pillar. The diameter can be tens of meters. Inside it, the air moves in a circle. If any objects happen to be there, they begin to move too. Sometimes the speed of this movement reaches 100 kilometers per hour. Anything that gets inside the moving column can be destroyed. Homes and all objects affected by tornadoes get damaged. Objects weighing up to 15 tons can be lifted into the air. The scary thing is that objects easily rise into the air, but they are thrown out by the tornado with the same ease and at great speed. Earthquakes are the most terrible of all natural disasters on the planet. They lead to millions of victims, which makes them incomparable to hurricanes, whirlwinds, tsunamis, and tornadoes. Over the past decade, earthquakes have killed 780,000 people. Tremors occurring inside the Earth lead to vibrations of the Earth's crust. They can spread over vast areas. As a result of the strongest earthquakes, entire cities can be erased from the face of the Earth, and thousands of people die. Did you know that an earthquake can also be caused artificially, for example by an underground nuclear explosion? For example, a test held in the USSR on October 30th, 1961 caused an earthquake of such strength that the seismic wave in the Earth's crust generated by the shock wave of the explosion circled the globe 3 times. And that's all for today, guys. Share your thoughts about this video in the comments below. Give us a thumbs up and don't forget to share the video with your friends. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.